Hey, welcome to Widow Too Soon. This is Mark Massaro. I'm here with my friend and co-host, as always, Michelle Bader. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? I always think of Arsenio Hall every time I do these intros.
Is he around
Anyways,
anymore?
I don't, well, I mean, I think he's still alive.
Well,
If
I
that's what
know,
you're
but like
asking.
the show, probably not.
No.
I don't know. I don't keep up with
No,
like talk show
it's
people.
Arsenio. So that would have to be for our our audience that's like our age.
Yeah,
I don't think you couldn't be much younger than us
right. 29.
and know what Arsenio Hall is. 29, right? Yeah, totally.
29. Yeah.
Yeah. So
29.
any hooser. How are you doing?
Well, I'm tired because I just started my first week of teaching third grade.
Oh,
So it's been difficult. Like, I love them. They're super sweet. It's a really fun age because they're like a little more grown up than kindergarten, which is what I usually teach, but they're still young and sweet. But it's tiring, like long days. And this first week we didn't have any like library PE or anything like that. So I was with them, from like 8:05 to 3 p.m., like a few breaks here and there for recess and lunch, but it was long days, but it's so rewarding. Like their little faces and I'm in a Christian school and so I'm able to pray with them.
that's awesome.
I was not sure how to share it. Like I'm still going by Mrs., because I didn't want to be Miss again. It just sounded weird. So Mrs. Bader, and I was doing this all about me paper and I showed them the pictures of my family. And I'm like, this is, Hayden, Haley, Peyton, and my husband, Luke, in heaven. And they're like, what happened to him? So it was just interesting. Like I didn't know exactly how to share everything. I told them about cancer and, I didn't want it to be like, I just wanted to tell them right away, and share pictures of him. And he's obviously a huge part of my life. And so I wasn't sure how that would go, but it was fine. And I've told one parent too, her daughter has had a loss recently. And so I told her about my loss and hopefully there'll be an opportunity for a one-on-one conversation so I can share with her what I've gone through. But I'm absolutely loving being at my kids' school. So it's, they have daycare. So like babies through 12th grade. I mean, several buildings, but we're all on the same campus. And so it's been great. Like Haley was able to come in and she's going to be doing worship for the all campus chapel next week. Like she told me there's gonna be like 1,000 people between everybody. It's like huge, like in this whole auditorium. And so she's leading it. She's really excited. And she came and practiced the songs with my kids in my class. And I was like making it like a big deal. Like you guys are going to get to know the songs before anybody else. And you'll know the person leading it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really, really fun. She likes
And she
to come.
can sing too.
She can sing. So
I mean, not as good as me, but
right. I know it's a toss up. It's a toss up. And anyways, so she also gets out of school 15 minutes earlier. So she comes over and helps me with like the parent pickup line. And so it's really fun. She wants to be a teacher. So she's a junior in high school. So it's good practice for her.
That's cool. Does she know what grade she wants to teach?
She wants to teach music. So
nice.
Elementary music.
Yeah. Just whatever. Yeah.
So she'll be really, really good at that. So
I can see that. That makes sense.
Yeah. And then Peyton has started playing football. So he's playing his first few high school games. So he's on JV, but all the JV people have to suit up for varsity and go to all the games and stand there. They're not allowed to sit.
What, just in case they're needed?
Yes,
or is it just like a discipline?
No, just to be ready to go in case they do need him. So,
okay.
Sometimes those are long, but he's enjoying the teamwork and the camaraderie of being part of the school football team and all of that. So that's fun. So just been a lot of busyness, like just a lot of stuff. And, things are going great with Joel. Looking forward to an amazing future and just excited about it. And I also like got teary-eyed today in church, just thinking about how far God has brought me from this place. And the verse of the day, and I'll look it up exactly. It was something about God is close to the brokenhearted and binds up I don't know. He heals us. That's my version of it. And I was thinking about that this morning. And then we're singing some song and I was brought to tears thinking about how broken I was to where I am today. And just how I couldn't have put together, like in my mind, how, who I would end up with and how it would happen and how God brought Joel and I together in this crazy way through Facebook technology and, just all of it. And it's just brought to tears of like thankfulness, and I had a friend recently lose her husband out of nowhere, and just remembering those moments and what that feels like. And then to be where I am now, a little over 2 years later, it's a miracle. Like,
yeah. And that's got to be really encouraging for people, because a lot of our listeners are in that beginning stage, and that like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And so to hear you and I talking about, because we both came from good marriages. And so to hear us talking about, finding happiness again after, such loss and devastation is, I would imagine, got to be encouraging.
Yes. People tell me
even
that
though,
all the time.
it's hard, but I don't know, like, because you and I have talked about this several times, and we've talked about it several times on here, that it just sometimes feels like, your life is over. And like, that was kind of the overwhelming feeling in the beginning of like, well, what now? Like nothing matters anymore. Like, my life's over,
Exactly. I found the verse. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
You're good. No, you're good.
Psalms 147:3. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. And I know this to be true.
What's the difference? Because that's like, what is that? That's like the ESV version, or what is that?
NIV.
NIV. What is like the New King James of that one?
Oh boy, New King James.
You're on your phone, right?
Yep, I got to go way down because I never do that one. But let me find it. New King James Version. Okay, he heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. So almost identical.
Gosh, that's so different. No.
You're thinking
there was something I was that just cracked me up somehow. It sounded like you just said the same thing.
Yeah, it did.
But so no, I guess there's a different one I'm thinking.
You're thinking of a different. He saves those who are crushed in spirit. Are you thinking of that one?
Yes.
The brokenhearted and crushed in spirit. Yeah, that's a different verse, but that one is really good too.
Okay.
So yeah, that verse like really spoke to me. And the one yesterday was about being in heaven and being clothed in white robes and like this whole vision. And it just was like, I was thinking about Luke being in heaven and what that's like. And, sometimes I just stop and think about that. Like, whoa, he's in heaven right now. Like,
it's crazy, right?
It's a crazy thought, even though we know it, to just all of a sudden, especially when you like read Revelation, that was from Revelation, and just like realize that and think about that. And yeah, it's been really, just stop and pause once in a while and think about that. And it's like, I'm still having the joy of this new relationship, but there are moments that I'm like, I miss him, and like, it's just, the interesting being in two places at once and like how you're feeling, but I'm not brokenhearted anymore. It's moments of feeling sad, but I'm not brokenhearted. Like, my heart is healed. And, like I was trying to encourage my friend who lost her husband, I think like last week, like, I promise it gets better. That's all I wanted to hear as a new widow. And it's not that you'll ever like forget or move on. It's that you learn to live with it. Like an amputation, we've talked about that before. Like, you always miss them, but you learn. I said, God gives you the grace and peace to be able to live without them. In the beginning, you can't even imagine it. Like, you're just like, I think I'm going to feel like this forever. Like,
yeah. And one of the things that was like really comforting to me is that I was like, as much as I miss her, like, she doesn't miss me.
Yeah.
She is in heaven. She's with Christ.
Yeah.
She would be so mad at me if somehow I could pray her back to earth.
Right.
She'd be like, dude, what did you do? Like, do you know where I was? Like, and so that brought me a lot of peace that I was like, no matter how much I miss her, no matter how heartbroken, that was almost English, no matter how heartbroken I am, she does not feel that way.
Yeah,
she is happier than she's ever been. And I just had to keep like reciting things like that to myself, because I think that helped me find healing.
Yeah.
That I was like, she's not missing me. She's not missing anything here on earth, because for her, she has this new understanding. And for her, it's, and for her and for Luke and for all of us out there that lost them, for them, it's going to be like the blink of an eye before they see us again. They're not missing us. They're not feeling like, oh man, but if only this, if only that. No, they are in perfect peace.
Right.
And so that actually helped me a lot to know that, to be like, like, I only need to feel bad for myself and for my kids. And
Yep.
obviously, you know, for everybody else that lost her, you know, my in-laws
Yeah.
and everything, but just like, I don't need to feel bad for her because she is fine. And so that those kind of things bring a lot of peace and comfort, you know, and that's the beauty of being a believer is that's the great hope we have in Christ, you know? So anyways, yeah.
What have you been up to the last few weeks?
What have I been up to? Well, okay, so I'm trying something new here. My friend, I have to say this because I think it's kind of funny. My friend Chris, he's just like a really good dude. I just love this guy, and he gave me some constructive criticism that I'm sure a lot of you would be thankful for him.
I don't think they care
saying
that
this
much.
to me. Oh, we did it. So he pointed out to me that I say and like a lot. Michelle's laughing because I totally just caught myself doing it again. I say and like a lot. And so he said, put a Post-it note on the screen that says and like on it and stare. So I'm just like over here laughing because I'm looking at this note that I put on the screen and I'm trying to talk completely differently.
It's okay.
You know, I'm doing my best, you know, but it's just, it's funny. And I just, but I appreciated that. I appreciated his honesty, and, you know, that is helpful. And especially if you're speaking to, because now it's one of those things that once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
Right.
And so, you know, it's kind of like you with your,
I know, right?
I know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I did it. So what have I been up to? Well, I've been trying not to say and like so much. That was the point of that. I'm studying a lot with Alexis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she was like, you know, it's just I'm learning how to do school with her, and she's learning how to do school. I know, I heard it. So anyways,
I didn't.
I'm trying very hard to, you know, be a good tutor for her, which by the way, she laughs a lot at that. And
she thinks it's like why. Tutor.
Yes. Yes. She's like, why would you hire somebody to do that?
That's funny.
Come over to our house and stink it up. Anyways, so, and I got some good results for them for their testing, which was awesome.
That's always
nice. You know, I won't get into all of them or anything other than to say I am not surprised at all at how high Luke tested in math.
I was gonna say.
I just have to say it. 99th percentile.
Oh, that's amazing.
Of math. That did not surprise me at all.
No,
I was like, man, he was all proud of himself.
Mathematical.
He's just like gifted with numbers. It's awesome. I love watching him. Just his brain function that way. So that's been cool. I went to Kentucky again and got to see my girlfriend.
Mystery
girl. Hey girl. That's so funny. So, you know, what was really funny about that is she was telling me the place we were going, Corbin, Kentucky, is the birthplace of Colonel Sanders and his restaurant, right? And they have a cafe there. Awesome. And like whatever. It's like a restaurant / museum. Okay. Nice. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. He's from Kentucky. How interesting, right? I know, right? So and she's like, yeah, that's crazy. And so neither one of us like really process it. And then as I'm driving there and I'm arriving in Corbin, I see this huge billboard that says the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Did I really ask her if Kentucky Fried Chicken is from Kentucky? I'm like, man, she must think I'm so dumb. So we both had a good laugh about that.
That's funny.
So we hung out there, and that was really neat. I'm really excited. Fall is coming. I can see the leaves changing on the trees. It's so beautiful here.
This will be your first fall there, because California doesn't really change.
I mean, the leaves die on some of the trees, but
different.
I actually did have on my street in California, we had maple trees and they changed colors, but that was the first time I'd really seen trees changing color you just don't see a lot of it in California,
Yeah.
not the same way that it is here. And anybody I'm, friends with on Facebook will see, because I plan on going to Cades Cove in the Smoky Mountains over the
Oh,
next,
cool.
few weeks. And it's, I can't even imagine seeing
Oh,
how many
yeah.
trees there are as you're driving up to it. And then people have told me like those all change color.
Wow.
And I'm
Cool.
like, oh, that's neat. So it's like, Tennessee is supposed to be, I've heard this from several people, one of the most beautiful states in the fall. There's
Nice.
also like, all these states around here are pretty known for that. So I'm excited about that. What else has been going on? Oh, it's really cool. My neighbor decorated my house for Halloween.
Really?
When we were gone, she watches my dogs.
Oh,
And
nice.
she's like, hey, would it be cool if I surprised your kids and like decorated your guys' house for Halloween? I'm like, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Nice.
Make me look like a good dad. That'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
Like
So we came
decorations
back and
in
there
the
were like,
house or out?
no, like
Oh,
outside.
outside.
There's
That's
like
cool.
spider webs and like
Oh,
ghosts
fun.
and little things hanging on the house. So we haven't been up to too much. Just, plugging away at daily life. I'm
Right.
still working on my collection of colognes that
Oh,
I
good.
am just now telling people about my hobby for the first time in my life. And I've been collecting colognes for probably somewhere around 10 years.
Wow. Why haven't you told people?
I don't know, because it's like a nerdy hobby and nobody else is into it.
Well,
I guess
there's
okay,
a
I
lot of
thought it
people
was
on the
nerdy,
internet.
but I'm finding out as I tell more people about it that a
Yeah.
lot of people think it's cool.
Yeah.
But it just is one of those things that I don't know, nobody else is into it. And so I just never told it. It's just something I've always done for myself, but I've really started collecting over the past like 2 years. So
Nice.
basically, after Lacey passed away,
Yeah.
it was like, I was looking for something to find interest in. And I
Mm-hmm.
got back into my hobby. And so I have a stupid amount of fragrances, but I love it. It's just something I love. So I've been having fun with that. So anyways, that's the stuff I've been up
Nice.
to. So today we are going to talk about something that Michelle and I feel like is very beneficial to people. Rebuilding your life, because our lives all fell apart.
Yep.
And we've talked about it here and there and different things like that. But Michelle, what do you think about when you like, why does that resonate with you? Why did you want to talk about this topic today?
Did you hear my let's
Yeah, and
see.
I'm sorry, because you're going to keep hearing them now and you're going to get annoyed with yourself. You
Um
have to just keep moving past it. I'm
anyways.
just trying to do better. You can
Okay.
just do the same. You need a post-it note right on your screen that says
Right.
and like.
I know, right? And right.
I know, right?
I know, right?
Thanks,
See, did
Chris.
it again.
Oops,
It's
I
like a
did
thinking.
it again.
Leave me
No,
your
no Britney
heart.
Spears.
I was catching up.
Sorry.
Side note. Okay. Wait, no, side note. It's a filler word. You say it while you're thinking, but we got to get better about thinking in our head, saying in our heads if we have to, but like be ready to go. Anyways, what I was going to say, it resonates because your life is like shattered after you lose your spouse. Like it is unrecognizable. That's how I felt. And I actually remember my hospice nurse, who was my friend, saying to me, I mean, she's my friend, like after, she said, your life in a year, you won't even recognize your life in a year. And she was so right, because it was so broken and shattered and just felt like, what do I do now? Who am I? I know we did an episode called Who Am I? Like we've talked about some of this stuff, but it's like your life is so unrecognizable that you have to start to rebuild it. So yes, there's going to be some things that are the same. Like if you're a parent, you still have your kids. You might live in the same house for a little while until you decide to move, if you do. But a lot of things are completely different. The biggest being you're suddenly single. Like that's huge. You are not married anymore. I mean, that was the weirdest thought. Like I had filled out some paperwork and it was, I had to do married, divorced, widowed, single, and I had to put widowed, and it was like, date your marriage ended. And I was like, oh, I guess I have to put his death date down. I guess that's the day my marriage ended. That's weird. So you're in this place where you're just totally broken. And so you have to start having things to look forward to. That was huge, starting to think about, what do I have to look forward to? That's a big one. So setting little, maybe a trip you're going to take. I took my kids on a trip 1 month after he died. It was to see some family, but it was something on the calendar. And that's a huge one. And just really, I don't know. What about you?
Well, for starters, the reason I wanted to do this episode is the same as you, because it really is. This is the way I look at it. We're going to rebuild our lives no matter how we look at it, because our lives have been torn apart. So are we going to rebuild them good or rebuild them bad, poorly? Good point. Because that's something that we see, is that some people don't rebuild their lives in a good way, in a positive way.
Right.
And it's very easy. We both recognize how easy it would be rather to not care and rebuild your life in a negative way. It would be so easy, honestly, to become an alcoholic. That would have been really easy for me had I not chosen to not do that. It would have been very easy for me to walk down that path, because I didn't care in the same way that I used to.
Right.
I also didn't have my wife anymore to hold me accountable for not making stupid decisions. Just to be honest, that's a lot of the reason why some people rebuild their life in a poor way, is because nobody's there to hold them accountable anymore. And you have a lot of negativity in your life already from losing your spouse. So that was why I wanted to do this, is because I want to encourage those of you in the beginning that you are going to have to rebuild your life, because your life just got ripped apart.
Yeah.
Are you going to rebuild it in a positive way, or you rebuild it in a negative way? And for those of us with children, it's even, I don't want to say more important, but I kind of feel like it is even more important that you rebuild your life in a positive way, because they're looking at you and they're depending on you to walk them through this. And you don't walk them through this with necessarily with great advice, but with great leadership. You show them mommy's trying her best, daddy's trying his best, things like that. But so I think rebuilding our lives is something positive, is choosing positive things. So for one, I think that you should decide to be the best version of yourself.
That's good.
And we're not perfect at it, but
we're not.
Well, I am. You're not. But like we're, I don't sit here and say like, oh, I've done all these great things and this and that. Like I screw up too, but it's goals and aspirations. I aspire to be the best version of myself. I aspire to get into the word more and pray more. And even, even stuff like dressing better. Like I want to look like I'm clean cut, I want to be well spoken. I don't want to, I want to be the best version of myself. For me, I wanted to quit drinking soda. It's now been 2 months since I baked nicotine.
That's so awesome.
That was for 12 or 13 years.
Wow.
And because I want to be the best version of myself. I want to present the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I think finding positive hobbies is, like, I don't know. I mean, it can be an expensive hobby.
Like
but
cologne.
I think fragrances is, it can be, but it also doesn't have to be. You can learn like to go through discounters and to go to Ross and TJ Maxx and these different things. If you have an interest in that, especially, well, let me rephrase that. I don't think women should be reaching out to me privately to ask me about perfume, but like, if you're a man and if this is appealing to you, it's interesting,
you're gonna
send
get
me a
all these
message on
women.
Facebook. I would love to nerd out with you and talk to you about the colognes and kind of point you in the right direction of, just what stuff to do. So anyways, I just think finding a positive hobby is good. Getting into your Bible study, getting into the word. I just really want to encourage you to become the best version of yourself. And also it feels good. It feels good to go find something that looks good on you. Say you're into like a leather jacket, go get a nice leather jacket or something that like you're going to feel good in. And it's going to boost your confidence. All those things play a role in your forward development. You know, like if you look good, you feel good, right? And so anyways, that's kind of, you know, get a haircut, go get your hair did, you know.
Okay.
Some old school Missy Elliott, remember that?
Yes. Okay, first side note, have you ever collected any cologne from Brazil? Because there's a good one.
I have one. Tell me about it. I have one from Spain.
Okay, so Joel wears a really good cologne and he says he gets it in Brazil. I'll find out the name for you.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, I might. I mean, I have a lot, so I might have it and just not know it was from Brazil.
Yeah, I'll tell you when I know.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, some kind of cologne from Brazil, because I'm like, what's this cologne? I never smelled it. And he's like, it's from Brazil. Let's take my plane. Like 2 great lines at once. Just kidding. I just said he never has said that. I just wanted to put those lines together because
that's awesome.
You know, like the Brazil thing and the plane thing. Got a lot
it's a good combo.
Great things going for him.
Yeah, he does. That's awesome. I mean, just those 2 things alone, he's just like styling, you know. Yes. Like, I'm a pilot and I have cologne from Brazil. So,
right. And he speaks Portuguese fluently.
So. Oh, okay. Take it easy, Joel.
Right. Yeah. And he's
you already got it all going for you. Dude.
Listen, there's more. Okay, so he can play the piano by ear. Like, he doesn't take lessons.
What?
But we were touring this museum in Monroe, like the town near him, and they have this like grand piano, and they're like, you can play it if you want. He sits down. That's like beautiful piece. I'm like, what is that? He's like, I just made it up. And I was like, what?
No
the lady was like, what? Like, he's so talented.
That's awesome.
I know. I feel like I won the jackpot.
So Joel, what note is this?
Right. No, I often say to him, I think I won the Joel pot, you know, like jackpot.
Oh, nice. That's clever.
Because it's like I keep learning more and more things. I'm like, is there anything you're not good at? Or like, and he's totally like health food and all this stuff. Like, I think yesterday my sister-in-law, we were talking about, she's like, is there anything like that he doesn't do that's not like healthy? And I'm like, not really. Like,
that's awesome.
He runs every day. And I mean,
but look at that. That's a great example. Joel is the best version of himself.
Yes.
And look how attractive that is.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? And so, that's a good point. Go, right, Joel. Thanks for being part of our episode.
You know, he said he never wanted to get a dad bod. So he got very motivated to like stay in shape. And like, he always says that I want to be the healthiest that I can be. Our bodies are a holy temple, you know, our temple of the Holy Spirit, you know, so that's kind of like his whole thing. So he's always about being healthy and running and all of that. Okay, side note. So I eat like tons of vegetables every day now. I bought an air fryer. It is the best thing ever. Have you used an air fryer?
Oh my gosh, yes. I love them. It's like the best thing ever. Yes. It's like I throw corn in the cob on there and I'm like, this is amazing.
I have to try that. I mean, I just got it like a few days ago.
I spray it with what do I do? I forgot. It's been a while. Oh, olive oil.
Okay.
I just, lather it up with some olive oil. And then I think I do like I don't remember for sure. I think I do like 360 for like 11 minutes or something like that, or 9 minutes. I don't remember, but
it's so fast,
it comes out amazing. It comes out so good. And it's just a set it and forget it kind of thing, you know?
Yes.
It's awesome. I love the air fryer.
So great. So get yourself an air fryer today.
Yes.
It's not like a commercial.
Be the best version of yourself and get an air fryer. Yes, but
it's so
today.
easy to like toss some vegetables and they are all crispy and great. Like, it's amazing. Anyways.
Today's episode has been brought to you by air fryers.
Air fryers everywhere. Okay, going back to what we were saying. So have you ever heard this saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail?
Yes. I was also in network marketing.
Yeah. Okay. That's right. I forgot. That's where I got it from.
We were in pyramid schemes.
That's right. We could do a whole episode on that. Anyways, it's not a pyramid scheme.
As long as there's a product.
Yes. You know all the same words I know. Okay. If you've been in network marketing, you're laughing right now. You are.
Yes.
You know exactly what we're talking about. Anyways, I'm not going to get.
Look at your life. Look at it. Are you where you want to be?
Where do you want to be in 5 years? If time and money were no object, what would you do? Like, it had all the lines down. Anyway,
Are they where you want to be financially? Well, why are you
Don't
taking
listen to-
financial advice from them?
yes, all of it.
That's basically that's network marketing telling you how to shun all your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you listen? They're going to say that you're in a scam. Are they where you want to be financially? Don't listen to them. Like, don't you want to own your own island like me?
Yes.
Like, do you make any money? Well, no, not really, but I'm going to.
Keep the faith. Keep the faith.
Keep the faith,
Oh,
yeah. I have no friends left.
Listen, I know I love and support my friends who are still doing businesses. And it was I was in it for almost 15 years. I made great money at points of it. I learned how to be a leader. I learned how to speak. I got to travel, and it like taught me a lot. So I don't regret it.
I don't either, to be honest. I don't regret it. And I would tell people, like if somebody was getting into it, I would encourage them.
Yeah.
For sure, because I learned a lot about leadership, communication, all kinds of things. I really did. I learned a lot about, I read a lot of books about becoming successful.
Yes, for sure.
Making money and winning friends and influencing people. 21 irrefutable laws of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that whole kind of thing.
So
no, I don't regret it at all. I think that it was
the 4-hour work week. You know that one? That's a real book.
That's awesome.
The 4-hour work week.
Yes, I've definitely heard of that one. One of my favorites though that I've been wanting to reread, that's really good is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
That is, Joel just finished that. That's such a
great book.
Yeah.
Then there's a sequel to it. Is it
Richer Dad, Poor Dad?
Richer Dad, Poor Dad.
No, I'm just making that
My
up.
dad was even broker. No, I don't remember, but there is a sequel to that book. It wasn't as good as Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But that was a great book. Robert Kiyosaki, I think.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, John C. Maxwell, all those people, they're great authors, and they're not, about network marketing. They're about leadership.
I'm a John Maxwell certified speaker, and I went to his conference, so I know a lot about John Maxwell. Good stuff, good leadership. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So when you're rebuilding your life, it's good to have goals. Like I remember in the beginning, it was hard, and I talk about this in like when I do stuff about widow goals, like number 1, get out of bed. That's your first goal. Like start with little things, but then you've got to get bigger than that. Like I want to go on this vacation. I want to learn this hobby. For me, it was line dancing. That's what I started doing. And I found friends who happened to be widows also who like line dancing. And we started going together. Find a group of like-minded people through church, through widow groups. Like for me, it's huge. Like 2 of my closest friends that I still see a lot, they're both widows. And it's just, we have this like automatic bond. And that's been really big for me. Like even just this last Father's Day, we went for a walk, and Father's Day was in a couple days, and we like all prayed together for our kids because we knew that was going to be huge for them. And just having those people who get it. Like I love my friends who aren't widows, but those who are, they get it. Like it's just this bond. So finding, you can go to meetup.com, you can look on Facebook. You can look on our Widow Too Soon page, like finding people who get it, whether it has to be virtual because you don't have any around you, or finding people in your community. That was really big for me. And then like making time for myself, because suddenly you're not only suddenly single, you're suddenly a single parent if you have kids. And that's a whole other world where you got to make time for yourself or you're not going to get time. And so word, you know that you have
I do not do that. I don't really know how to make time for myself, but you're absolutely right.
Well, you've got school important. Now. They're in school, so that's when you can make time. But you probably, true. I'm gonna guess, you spend that time doing projects and things, and like you don't really do something fun. Or maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, no, that is a lot of what I do. I'm just doing. I'm getting errands done and doing things. Yes, that's when I get my stuff done. That's when I try to grocery shop or go get my car washed.
So
things
maybe.
Like that.
Start giving yourself 30 minutes of the whole day. Just start with 30. What am I going to do for me for 30 minutes? I mean, maybe you want to take a dance class.
Yeah, totally. It's right up my alley. I know
you don't like dancing, but find 30 minutes of mark time. Just try it. It'll do wonders for you.
I will. And I will be intentional about not just doing something that I want to get done.
Yes,
I will try to do. I go to the gym. That's something
good.
I do a lot of the times. That is a good thing, but that's still like I could do that. They have childcare, and I could do that when my kids get out of school. So, but anyways, yeah, it is just something, I don't know. It's been just kind of a funky, like just been, I've been busy.
Comadina. I just had to say that. The funky comadina. Is that right?
Who was, yeah. Was that Tone Loc?
I don't know.
I think that was Tone Loc.
There's someone named Tone Loc.
Yeah.
What else do they sing?
Isn't he the one that sang Wild Thing?
I have no idea. Anyways, we're getting so off topic, but
no, hold on. I'm looking.
I know you're gonna have to look it up and figure it out.
Yeah, Tone Loc Wild Thing.
Good job. Wouldn't have known.
You remember that song?
Wild Thing. I think I love you.
Dun, no, that's what I thought. Not that one.
Oh, that's an older one. That's like an old one, right?
I just realized I shouldn't talk about that song.
Is it not good? It's not a good song.
No. Anybody who knows it knows.
Okay.
Anyway.
Forget that. Let's keep going.
Yeah. It's Tone Loc.
Tone Loc. That's what we know. So, anyways, rebuilding your life. So we were talking about hobbies. Yes, taking time for yourself. Having plans. Like for me, with like running, I like to pick a race that's out further, and then I know that that's coming up, and so I'm training, and I have something that it's like my thing, that helps motivate me. So it might be something small at first. Enlist a friend if you need accountability, to help you be accountable to take time for yourself. But especially as a single parent, you have got to figure out when your me time is. I'm kind of working on that right now since I'm in a brand new schedule. I'm working full time and then kids stuff. So I don't have it quite figured out yet for this new schedule, but I'm going to, because it's so important. I mean, I spend a lot of my me time on the phone. Okay, let me just tell you, yesterday, Joel and I talked 6 hours. 6. Like, I don't even know how that's
pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty impressive.
It wasn't just talking. Like sometimes we were like, let's just hang out. So he was like painting and drilling and I was sweeping, and then we just like say something to each other. So it's not like we talked the whole time, but so we have like what's called focus time. I'm like, I need you to look at me. This is focus time. And then we have like we're doing others, we're hanging out. So
yeah,
6 hours, but some of it was, and it's always video. We do, video chats and
okay. No, I like that. So I've done 4 pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And we've done 6 from time to time.
Well, this wasn't all at once either. It was broken up throughout the whole day, like different times.
Oh, then that's not that impressive.
Okay, well, I'll try to do 6 hours.
I want to do 6 in a row on the regular. That's gonna be.
I remember once, like when we were first dating, he's like, "I'll stay up all night talking to you." And
you hang up. No, you hang up.
Funny. Anyways, it was pretty much like Can I get back to what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. So anyways, he doesn't drink coffee that often, but that night he drank coffee all night and we talked literally the whole night. And I was like, do you not care about me that much anymore? Because you never stay up all night talking to me. He's like, I'll do it again if you want. So I'm like, I want to go to bed. So I'm too tired.
No, my girlfriend and I, secret girl, notorious GIRL. We often talk about how like high school we are and how funny it is.
It feels like that sometimes.
It does. Well, it's weird to have been, Lacey and I, well, you and Luke even longer, and my girlfriend and her husband even longer.
Yeah.
But I was with Lacey for 17 years.
Right.
So to have a girlfriend again and like spend all this time on the phone and like it definitely feels like high schoolish again. And there's just a lot of it, like talking like late at night when you have to get up early the next morning. I'm like, it's 2. I gotta get up at 6. Like we gotta hang up.
I know, it's so sweet though. It's like,
just 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
No,
I'm always like, when he said, it's always him because he's 2 hours ahead when he's like has to go, and I'm like, wait, I love you. You're really cute. Like
he's like, it's 4 a.m. for me. Let me go.
Like, but it's only 2 here.
Let him go. Let him go.
I don't know why.
Don't hold him back from sleep anymore.
Oh my gosh. And like every night too, I'm like, why every night? Like, why do you leave me for sleep every night? Like, why? Like every night
you really need to sleep all the time.
Like,
gosh,
same thing.
So selfish, Joel.
Like he said before me, he used to go to bed. He used to go to bed at like 9 or something crazy like that. But
yeah,
it's always like
me too.
Midnight now. But It's anyways, off topic again, but
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Oh yeah.
Joel, stop needing sleep.
I know. I get so
So
upset.
selfish.
Just talk to me. Sleep
Gosh,
and the other thing,
you and your 5 hours
yeah,
of sleep a night.
I know. And then the other thing he leaves me for is work. I'm like, you really have to work, but now I'm working full time, so I can't talk to him all day long.
He doesn't leave you for work. He has to go to work.
I know, but I'm like, what? No, talk to
Oh, that's
me.
funny.
Yeah, but now I get it a little bit more because I'm like full time at work. I can't talk during the day, so
Oh my
it's been a little rough on the schedule too because I'm used to talking to him all day, like off and on. So
Yeah,
it's like barely anything until night. But
that's pretty funny.
someday won't be like that. Someday will be a
Yeah,
person. So
that's good. So yeah, well, okay.
Let's go back to our
Let's
subject.
get back on topic. Okay, so what other things can you think of for talking about people rebuilding their lives?
Okay, you said dress better. That's a great one. Or like, dress for success.
Yeah. Dress for the job you want.
Not the job you have. Dress for the job you want. Oh,
We should be coaches.
I know we could like life coaches.
Yeah. I'd be like, let me see. No, those pants gotta go. Those don't fit you.
I don't have anything else. I mean, I talked about hobbies, dressing better, goals.
And that's good. The goals is great.
Yes.
That's a really good one. And especially like, a lot of us, like Michelle's saying, is like in the beginning, like you don't care about setting goals.
No.
But even if you make some easy goals,
yeah,
like those can feel really productive. And
right.
It's a rebuilding is what we have to remember what we're talking about here. We're not talking about just becoming way better. We're talking about rebuilding. So you have to build again.
Mm-hmm.
So you can start off slowly. You can, and there's like so many things that this could involve with. So some people, might already be dressing immaculately and in their word every day and doing things like that. So, maybe this isn't like perfect advice for everybody, but we're still looking to rebuild our lives from a life of we were Michelle and Luke and Mark and Lacey.
Yeah.
That's what we were. And now it's Michelle and Mark.
Right.
And obviously there's Joel and Mystery Girl.
Did you almost say it?
I almost did. I was like, but these things it's still, we had to go through a phase of like learning to rebuild. And you kind of ask yourself, you're like, whoa, like, what do I do now? So for me, for example, I was like, well, I knew how I volunteered my time when I was with Lacey.
Yeah. How
How does Mark volunteer his time?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's an important one, aside from the not in any selfish way, but the self-centered things we've pointed out. Getting out there, like being the best version of yourself is serving others. That's a big part of it. And so get out there and
yes, that's huge.
Serve the community, serve other widows. If you can find the strength in you, serve other widows, like pray
so
with
much.
them. And it helps you. To be honest, it helps you also. Pray with people, offer your services, offer, if you're a great cook, for example, offer to cook meals or to, as a widower, I can tell you it would be hugely beneficial. That we have to remember that spouses were half, at least, of the work that went into the marriage. And so there's a lot of things that, I know that generally speaking, I know there's a lot of women that can really fix things well. And I know there's a lot of men that can really cook well. Right. But generally speaking, a lot of people have those traditional roles where the man is the one that fixes things and the woman is the one who cooks and raises children and things like that. And so if you can think of something that you could help out somebody that is something that their husband or their wife probably used to do, that could be hugely beneficial. Yes. And so all those things are helping you be the best version of yourself and rebuilding who you are. Rebuild who you are into an awesome person and have goals to rebuild yourself into even a better person that you were before. And kind of along the lines of, well, we've mentioned this before, but if you're still single, you know, and you have not found somebody who started dating yet or gotten remarried again yet or anything like that, don't think about, we've mentioned this before, don't think about the woman or the man that you're looking for. Focus on becoming the woman or the man that you want to be to attract that kind of man or woman. And I think that's huge. And I think that should be something that we all focus on every single day, is being a little bit better, a little bit closer to Christ is the goal, right? Be a little bit closer to Christ today than you were yesterday. And I think everything else will fall into place. And, you know, all the stuff about the, you know, if you feel like dressing better and things like that, that's all, it doesn't matter. That's just to make you feel better about yourself and to give you more confidence and to kind of help you like take life by the horns. What is that?
Bull by the horns?
Bull by the horns. Yeah, that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like just to kind of, you know, just to kind of grab your situation, pick up the pieces and run with it. It'll help you get to a place of acceptance. And that should be the goal for all of us. It doesn't make it okay. Doesn't make it like, I still wish to this day, 2 years later, that Lacey never got cancer, of course. You know, I wish that with all my heart, but do I waste my time wishing that didn't happen? Or do I learn to accept that it did happen? And anyways, that's, I think taking these steps is how you rebuild your life in a positive way. Any final thoughts?
Yes, I had two more. So I think it also is very important to serve others. That has helped me so much. Well, we've both done it. We've turned our pain into purpose by starting the podcast. And it's just so valuable to take your time to help other people. It helps you get your eyes off of yourself and help other people. So definitely agree with that. And then also heard this network marketing, but it's very valuable. Goals are 90% more likely to happen if you write them down. Like it's an actual statistic. And so when we're saying have goals, don't just have them, write them down, like where you can see them, where you read them every day.
But post them out in the mirror or something.
Exactly. And that will help you so much. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. It really is about, you know, also asking God to help you rebuild your life. Like, okay, God, I don't know, like guide me to the right hobbies, guide me to the right things, like help me put people in my path, put things in my path, show me what to do. I don't know. Like, I remember thinking my life is like a blank book. Like it was kind of exciting too. Like I could do anything, like I can be anybody, you know? And so then asking God to put the right people in your path, whether that's a different career or a hobby or a new group you join or whatever, God will put the right people and right activities and things right in front of you. And so asking for them, I found is helpful. And I mean, I know he's provided like a lot of my friends and the activities and just all of this stuff. And more recently, my jobs, like he provided that in the right timing, exactly what I needed, even though it wasn't what I thought I needed. So he definitely will help you rebuild your life. So
I like that. Yeah.
Anything else on this subject? I think we got it.
No, that's it.
No.
I had to think about it. I was thinking very deeply. And honestly, I was looking out the window and I was like, oh, it's raining. That's what I'm such a California boy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't help. I get so excited every time I see the rain falling from the sky. Yeah. And I live in Tennessee. It rains like 160 days out of the year. And it's still very new to me though. I grew up in Southern California.
Right.
So
I guess like,
we'd all run outside and play in the rain whenever the one time a year it would rain for like 15 minutes. So I get distracted. I'm like, oh, it's raining. So yeah, sorry, I had to explain my hesitation or my
it's all good.
My lagging there. So no, yeah, I think just, you know, all the stuff we said, I think we've pretty much covered it. But maybe another thing I would like to add is stepping outside of your comfort zone.
That's good.
Doing something that you wouldn't normally do.
Yep.
Like, you know, starting a podcast.
Yeah.
I very much stepped outside of my comfort zone to do this. And it's been an incredible blessing for me in many ways. Many ways. You know, I've learned how to say and like way more than I used to.
Like, really? I know, right?
And then he's all like, and then she's all like.
And I was like, yeah.
Just for you. Anyways, so yeah, I think stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing something that you wouldn't normally do, just trying it, whatever that thing might be, it can be really beneficial, and you can find something that can really help you in life.
Like I started having this whole theory, like, a little over a year ago, like as long as it's moral and ethical, I'm saying yes. And I started saying yes to everything, like jumping off cliffs and like all of that stuff, and just like, okay, just being up for new things.
I like that. And it's some of the things it could be as simple as, for instance, my girlfriend, she didn't really drive anywhere by herself. So she's now, because she was kind of put in the situation of having to do it, now she like travels by herself, and it's not nice. She's like conquered it, and for her, that was like a big thing to like drive somewhere far by herself. And, so I think that's awesome. And there could be things like that where it could be a fear of yours. Yeah. And you just decide, you know what, I'm getting over this. I'm not going to be afraid anymore or whatever. And, you're facing your fears because that makes you the best version of yourself. And for women, a lot of times it's scary because your man is what made you feel safe in your house at night. And now all of a sudden you're in the house by yourself. And, there could be a lot of things that come along with that. Maybe he knew how to use firearms and you didn't, or you don't like them, or whatever it might be. But that might be something you have to learn, is to feel safe in your own house. Yeah. But all those things, but you can, if you don't like firearms, for example, you could go take a martial arts class. Yeah. And you could like learn. And even if, it's kind of like the dressing better thing, how it makes you feel is a huge impact. Because let's be real, nobody's breaking in your house in the middle of the night. Like, that's just so unlikely. Right. It happens, of course, but it's so unlikely that it's going to actually happen. But if you take some self-defense classes and all of a sudden you feel confident, right, you don't have fear anymore that somebody's going to break in your house in the middle of the night, because you're like, I'll beat them up, Right.
And fear, anyways, is just false evidence appearing real. That's all fear is. Learn like that in network marketing too.
I did not hear that one. Where was I on that day?
Right? False evidence
appearing
real. Like you're scared to talk to somebody, or you're scared, whatever. It's just all in your head. False evidence appearing real. That's all it is. Like really a lot of fear. That. And like when I have my anxiety and fear about medical stuff, which I still have, I have to remember that this is false evidence appearing real. Like this isn't real. So hopefully that
and again, we talked about the Enneagram a little bit. As a 6, that like speaks to me loudly, because I often, like, we as 6s, those of us who are 6s, we make up things where we don't have the answer. We make up the answer. And so, a lot of time it is like fear-based stuff. So I like that.
Boom, pull that acronym out. When
boom. Didn't even know that one.
Wow. I don't know how you survived in network marketing without knowing
that one.
I don't
either. Obviously, that's why I wasn't super successful.
Well, now you know it.
Never heard that acronym, and now I'm just Anyways, no, I really like that a lot. That's really good. False evidence appearing real. So that's something, and I know I kind of went a little off topic there, talking about that sort of thing, but I know that is very real for a lot of women. Yeah. That their husband was the protector. They didn't have to worry about hearing a noise in the middle of the night, because all they had to say is, I heard a noise, and husband jumps out of bed and goes down and checks it out. Yeah. All of a sudden you hear a noise and there's nobody there to go check out what it is. And that can also bring up grief, because it makes you realize how much you've lost, and anytime we have those things. So, those are all the things that we're kind of talking about, where you are trying to become the best version of yourself. So, learn how to be a martial arts expert. That's what I think you should do with your time.
Or go line dancing. Both equally valuable.
I guess if you learn the electric slide, you can kind of like take out multiple assailants.
See, like you're doing
slide to the right, bam. Slide to the left, bam. Hit the guy behind you, hit the guy in front of you.
See, you have to know
the electric slide to know what I'm talking about. So I front. I know how to do the running man.
Okay.
I can do the running man.
Few dances.
I can almost moonwalk. I can pop lock a little bit.
Nice.
I can almost do windmills. I really wanted to learn how to break dance when I was younger, and so I tried a lot. I didn't get very far.
That's a good little hobby you could pick back up if you wanted.
I like cologne better.
Cologne's easier.
Cologne's funner. Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. You know, my kids would probably think it was cool if Daddy was doing head spins on the living room floor.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I think
Impress mystery girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could do that with my skateboard.
Oh yeah.
I think, yeah.
Have you skateboarded for her yet?
Not yet. I'm
okay, saving that
I've been going with this. Well, he's my cousin's kid.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, but we just, for simplicity, they just call me Uncle Mark.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that,
rather than this is your second cousin once removed.
Right.
You know, Uncle's a little easier. So, but I've been taking him to the skate park lately.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I still got it, man. I'm almost 43 years old. I'm still out there kick flipping, riding half pipes. Like it's so ingrained in my muscle DNA that it just comes very naturally once I get my balance back. Nice. So no, but I told her, I said, you know, you got to let me get my balance back first before I show you my skateboarding. Because, you know, even though I'm nowhere near as good as I used to be, I have to at least look like I used to know what I was doing. So yeah, that came within like 20 minutes. So I think I'm ready to show her some tricks.
Okay. Well, do you want to close this out in prayer? How about that?
I suppose so. I want to talk about my skateboarding.
Okay, we can keep.
I'm going to start my own podcast, Mark Skateboarding.
You can. Yeah. Go ahead. Have fun with that.
All right. I'm going to start my own podcast. I'm going to start my own podcast. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Everybody's used to my dorkiness by now, right?
I think
okay.
So.
I'm praying.
Okay, do it.
Lord, thank you so much for this. What did you just say?
Do it, please.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
We're praying. Okay.
That's messed up. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Lord, thank you so much for this opportunity and this ministry that you have provided us with. We take it very seriously. I know it doesn't always sound like it, but I just pray that we always come across sincere, because we understand that we're dealing with a very delicate topic and we don't want to, you know, sound like we're taking it lightly, but we also want to encourage people. And so I hope that is the message that we convey, is that we're just trying to be happy and spread joy through a very difficult time in life for a lot of people. And I just pray that you would always help us, you know, come across sensitive to what people are going through, excuse me. And Lord, I pray for all those listening, especially those in the beginning, Lord, that you would walk with them through this and allow them the courage and just that they would be reminded to go to you in their time of need, and to just lean on you and to cast their cares and their burdens upon you. And I pray that you would just be there for them and take away their troubles, take away their broken heart, and that you would heal them, Lord. And I pray that you would provide for them everything that is missing in their life. And I pray that you would restore them and their heart to gratitude and joy. And I ask all that in the name of Christ. I pray that you would allow us all to remember our salvation and what it means in this moment. Thank you so much for the blood of Christ. It's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. If you liked this podcast, give us a little bing, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, or you could write a little review. That's helpful too. If you would like to be a guest on our podcast, you could email us at widowedtoosoonm@gmail.com, or just if you have a question or want to talk or whatever, we're there. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, all the places. It's all linked. It's all linked in the show notes. So you're good. You don't
it's
have to
all right
it.
There.
It's all there. So anyways, thanks guys for listening to another episode and being with us for 55 episodes.
55.
That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
So anyways, have a great week. We will see you next time.
God bless. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.